Hello mate, I'm Archer Syndicate and I live in Australia. Today I'll be giving you an archer guide on how to become the best archer player in Rise of Kingdoms, the Australian way, mate. Righto, first thing you want to look into is the best city skin. Okay, so the city skin I recommend is the Crack Shack city skin. This city skin is so bloody darn good, mate, because it puts a bunch of crack addicts in your city. They do crack and they protect ya. You also get 5% archer health and lose 5% cavalry health, mate. Now, as a true piss-pot, true blue Australian, everyone knows you don't mess with the Crack Shack. So if you see anyone with this skin, you're legally not allowed to touch them, and same applies to your city. So just put the Crack Shack skin on and you'll be righto good to go, mate. Now, when training troops to be an archer player, you gotta train the bloody essays. They smoke their durries and throw their bloody beer bottles at anyone that messes with you. Tier 5 essays have the best durry quality and can purchase it at the local Coles, mate. Tier 4, they're pretty rubbish, they're pretty stinky. They don't got the good durries, they just have good beer bottles. Now, another thing I recommend when you're an archer player, righto, is you gotta activate these boosts. You got here the bloody kangaroo boxing boost. You fight kangaroos with this one, mate. And then you've got the penetration boost. This helps you penetrate better during battle. And I also do recommend saving your mini Lego figures for whenever you need to level up your bloody commanders, mate. Now, to increase your commanders' happiness when you're healing them because they got their ass whooped, you got to make sure you've leveled up your shrimp cooking, aka prawns if you're actually true blue. Prawns are the only thing that keep your archers happy, mate. Next on the list, mate, we're looking at commanders for ya. Righto, first combo I recommend is Boudica Prime plus a kangaroo, mate. The kangaroo's actually ridiculously powerful, righto. First of all, let's go over Boudica. She hits pretty bloody hard with 2,300 direct damage factor, and she makes them take more damage for like 3 seconds or something. Not too sure what it does, I just think it's pretty good, mate. Then you got the unending struggle, mate, and just like increase your attack and march speed, and like you get tanky when you get bashed or whatever. Now this one I use particularly when I'm robbing a 7-Eleven. I'll put that skill damage taken reduction on, and then I get like some chance to like deal damage to the bloody worker. Usually my friend Sujan. Next on the list, mate, we're looking at some like damage to people, 5%, and like you heal yourself. Like that's going to save you so much gold and so much coal. Like I think the essays will be pretty happy when they feel the warmth of the healing, mate. Then finally, like when you're under a control effect or whatever, like whenever someone's trying to block your flow, mate, you just be able to bash them and like dispel it. Just real quick right hook 'em, mate. Now the kangaroo's pretty bloody good as well. Mate, he does like same damage factor and like he reduces his skill damage because like you can see on the screen, he's bloody jacked, mate. He's been hitting the gym and bashing your neighbour's car. Next thing, of course, kangaroo gets some increased SA durry attack and some increased defense because he's jacked. And also, kangaroos are pretty fast, mate, so keep that in mind. Kangaroo's also pretty good when bashing some dude's cities or whatever. So if you ever need to like rally some brothers, mate, just put a kangaroo with your Boudica and you're pretty much set. Righto, final skill here. You're looking at like some increased attack and maybe some direct damage factor. And like it's pretty good if you get him bashed and you just like turn around and quickly stab him with your kangaroo sword, mate. Next, righto, you're looking at when troops reach 70% rage, they deal 30% more normal attack. Otherwise, they take some less damage or whatever. So, you know, that's pretty good. You like go super essay mode, you just punch him, and then like you're pretty much chilling, mate. Now, if you're looking for two archers, mate, you're probably looking into something like a Henry, mate. This guy's a bloody British guy, keeping us locked in our bloody prison colonies. So, first of all, he also has all the skills the kangaroo has, coincidentally. But I actually recommend putting your Henry with Scott Morrison, the Australian Prime Minister. So, Scott Morrison is a very, very integral figure to Australia, and his presence actually makes people lose their health. Righto? Because he's a Liberal government, he doesn't care about your healthcare. But he does help Australia have a bit more health for the rich people. So, of course, if you're investing in Scott Morrison, you're probably rich. And you deal some more damage to all those poor blokes trying to mess with ya. Scott Morrison also likes to increase his attack even more when he's bashing people's cities in. So if you're using Scott Morrison, make sure you got your city set up, mate, and also you deal some more damage or whatever. Next on Scott Morrison's list, you got some bloody extra rage, mate. He makes them die if they're trying to heal because no Medicare for you. Also, if you got COVID, he'll help you get some more toilet paper so that you can block yourself and take less damage. Final skill makes him a bloody demigod, mate. He's like Steve Irwin at this point. Takes 15% less damage from getting bashed. Does a chance to make them blood crave and then they just die, mate. Oh, and they take more major whatever damage, whatever. Next march I recommend is this bloody emo chick Artemisia, and then probably a frickin' can of VB or some pills, make your choice. I prefer the VB, so that's what I'm gonna discuss. Now, Artemisia, she's got some damage to a bunch of people, mate, and also some defense, mate. Not really sure what that does, but it's an option for you to consider. And she's also pretty healthy, so keep that in mind. Mate, she also does some damage when she's doing a city protection, so if you gotta protect your crib, mate, protect your hood, just put her in charge and she'll scare him off by cutting her wrists or whatever. Next on the list, she can silence herself because she's a bit emo, she sits in the corner nice and quiet, and she deals some extra damage to the opponents because everyone's scared of that one emo girl, especially if you're in America and they're gonna shoot up your bloody school, mate. You should ban guns. Next on your list, you deal some damage to the bloody drongos trying to hit you, and 15% skill damage or whatever, mate, and they're all just running from her because she's cut her wrists and she's bloody threatening. Now, the can of VB you see on your screen is a tip-top Australian piss pot quality beer. You're looking at $6 a can of bloody good shit, mate. So if you're drinking a VB, of course, you're going to deal a bit of reduction in your damage factor, because when you're bashing people's skulls in while you're drunk, there's a chance you break the law, mate, because you don't know what you're doing. But your VB, the stench coming off your bloody drunk bogan body, makes everyone's healing effects be reduced, which is great when you're bashing some people's skulls in who are trying to heal. Next up, because your VB gets you some increased muscle strength, mate, when you're outside of your bloody crib, you do some extra damage to people and you bash them a bit harder and you run pretty quick, because if you do a VB with a Red Bull, mate, you're bloody fast. Then, your archer units increase your attack by 4% on the map, and each troop has damage infliction or whatever, bro. So pretty similar to Scott Morrison, and I could probably recommend it. Then you got some counter attack damage reduction and bloody whatever, and direct damage factor. So when you're using an active skill as well, when you max this bloody bastard, you're looking at 30% more normal attack damage for 3 seconds, mate. So 4th March, you're probably looking at Nebuchadnezzar and also, of course, Steve Irwin, the bloody legend. Nebuchadnezzar offers great damage factor, I guess, to 5 people. He's got a bow and arrow because we don't have guns here, and he's just shooting all of them, righto? Then, of course, you're looking at some bloody good damage on the defense and some bloody good march speed, mate, because he can run quick and he's got that thick body because he's an Arab or whatever. Then, mate, you're looking at some counter-attack damage bonuses, some direct damage factor when people are bashing you, but only when you're with all your bras and your rally attack. Otherwise, you're screwed, mate, and you're actually done for, and then you're probably better off putting him with Scott Morrison. Now, I also recommend him because he does some damage extra, bruh, and reduces their damage taken or rage, I don't know. And you bash pretty hard with him, and it goes pretty good with the crack shack because he's got the nice overgrown beard because he's been smoking crack all week. Now, he also has an upgrade where he does more damage, and that's pretty good. Now, Steve Irwin here, he's pretty much a man of bloody nature. Died to a stingray, but we don't talk about that. He was a bloody Aussie legend. So, of course, you're dealing 1,400 direct damage factor because he's a bloody legend. And because he's just got that bloody legend aroma, 20% more damage for the opponents to take. Bloody ridiculous. Next, of course, because he's immune to redbacks, he runs pretty quick because, we've all been bitten by a redback in Australia. He also has 30% attack, which is pretty darn good. Now, he does some skill damage reduction because his presence and his big muscles, being immune to those redbacks, makes him real powerful, mate. And like, the additional damage factor is pretty bloody good. And if you bash him, he's gonna like throw stingrays everywhere in a big bloody circle and hit all your mates, so don't touch him. See, he does like 600 damage factor to bloody all your friends, so don't do it. When you mex him, by the way, he has like an active skill where Durry launches, led by his commander, gain 20% increased attack and defense, and they have like extra rage when they throw their skill or whatever. So I think Steve Irwin's pretty bloody good for this, and he's a bloody Aussie legend, so you gotta consider him for your marches. Now, righto, brothers, if you enjoyed this April Fool's video, and you think it was pretty funny, then please leave a like and check out some of my other content. Not as funny, but I can tell you it's way more valuable than this. And I'll see you in the next one.